Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your monthly forecast. This is for February 2025. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh, and it's really great to see you. You'll notice behind me the backdrop is changing. That is because I'm basically traveling over the course of the next 3 or 4 weeks. You'll continue to see it change as I head further towards the East Coast. Let's go ahead now and focus on your channel messages for today. What I picked up in dreams and meditation today was a vision of reconstruction, or just construction in general. So for many of you, this could be a month where you're deciding to make some changes. If we think of a traditional building, sometimes that involves putting on a new addition, right? But it can also mean, hey, this doesn't serve its purpose anymore, so I'm going to need to, basically break it down. So for some of you, there could be deconstructing or reconstructing or reorganizing. All of these things are going to require a sense of willingness, like I'm going to do it, and then a follow through. And I think that's the hardest part, is just deciding it's time, right? The other thing is some planning. So anytime you are going to build something, you need a blueprint, you need some experts to help you figure out all the different things, you need a firm foundation. So I think as you enter into some changes this month, it would be really good to ground yourself, to meditate, to get enough sleep, to treat your body right. And so anything that you can do to create a firmer foundational support, that's really, really key. Things that come to mind as I think about construction: tower reversed, a decision to release something, take what you need and let the rest go. Judgment, because basically once something is done, this is like rebirth, reinvention. And also the Hierophant, because like I said, there needs to be a new structure that takes that place. So we'll keep an eye and see if any of those cards come through. Even Death could be in the mix here, because it's change, but change for the better. I really felt like for many of you, it's been something that you've been thinking about. I need to do this. I want to do this. Ultimately, February is providing a door of opportunity, and the question is, are you ready? Let's see what the cards have to say. All right, close your eyes, please. Clear your mind of any preconceived notions and imagine that the sun is shining on you. Allow it to connect with your heart. Allow that heart energy to radiate this beautiful circle around your body, protecting you and calling in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. All right, let's begin. Okay, let's take a moment here and look at your catalyst message. It reads knowledge, laughter, and bonding. So the way to bring something to the next level is perhaps with the help of someone else. And not surprisingly, we have 2 cards that are associated with people here. The 10 of Pentacles, which can be, co-workers, peers in the industry, fellow students. It can also be your partner, because this can represent marriage. We also have a love or friendship card here in Destiny. So 2 of the 4 expanded forecast areas have that partnership energy as well. There are some trust issues that we'll look at this month, but by and large, partnership is a good thing. I think the challenge for many of you could be the laughter piece, right? Having fun. So if we work too hard, take things too seriously, or focus to the point of exhaustion, we often kind of miss the fun of the journey. And so that laughter piece is really encouraging you to embrace that. Now, I love the knowledge portion, because as we take a look at your center card, it's one of the, penultimate cards when it comes to knowing how to get stuff done, a boss card, King of Wands. So we'll talk more about it in a second, but you've already got the knowledge. Looks like the partnership is here. So I think laughter is the most important thing. Making room for joy, for celebration, for having fun. If we focus solely on working, it it reaches a point where there's diminishing returns. And I want to help you find those doors and windows of opportunity that we talked about in the channeled messages. So have some fun. All right, let's take it step by step. We're going to start off with your center card here, the King of Wands. I was very heartened to see this at the center of your spread because it represents innovation, inspiration, and of course, leadership. It's a penultimate card, second only to perhaps Emperor or Empress energy. One thing that you see in this is he's holding onto that torch. We see the bravery in the form of the lion behind him. And basically it's saying, stand up for your ideas. Be willing and sort of able to just be bold and go for it. This is a very demonstrative card. If I think of some of the other kings, King of Pentacles, he's looking for like all the practical and financial data to back it up. He needs to see it in the numbers. King of Swords is going to talk you to death. King of Cups may come on a little bit strong, but King of Wands, he can win you over with a vision. And you really want to be the visionary this month. Share that sort of that insight, that wisdom, that knowledge that you have, and see if you can't lead the way. This is a really great card to start things off. So as we look at these three cards in the center, it's very interesting. We have Three of Swords, King of Wands, and the Devil. And the key to sort of like getting over these two hurdles is this. This is about bringing a thought into reality. So everything that I mentioned about the King of Wands is still true. He's a great thinker. But the page oftentimes is the doer. So this is a month, if we go back to your catalyst energy, where bonding and partnership could actually be very beneficial. So if there's an extrovert, if there's a better communicator that gets what you're saying, because these are two of the same suit, this is time to lean on that kind of expertise. A thought is only as good as the follow through. So this month, make sure that you follow through on your promises. And in fact, as we take a look at this sort of spread here, that is what I really think the Devil is about. Not seeing this promise through or this idea through to fruition. The page is coming through and saying, let's do it. She's throwing her baton or her wand in the air and making things happen. Let's look at your deep past. With the Six of Wands, it's in reverse. Here's what I'm getting from this. First of all, you've done the work. The foundational energy is there. But there could be a fixation on getting instant gratification or approval. Or just kind of having people say, oh, job well done. This month, it's more about following your North Star, your inner compass. And trusting that is essential. The other thing here is you may have kind of, the word outgrown comes in my mind, but yeah, you may have outgrown a job or an experience and gotten everything that you wanted. Maybe you achieved a level of success, but there's something missing. You may want something like you're looking for more balance in your life, because when I look at the health area, we have Justice card, which is balance. So maybe work-life balance is off. Maybe something else isn't there. This now goes into the energy that we were talking about way back at the beginning with the channeled message, where you might be rearranging, reconstructing, deconstructing things so that it feels better for you. Success is very much a subjective thing. At the end of the day, it's how you feel. You know, I recently had a podcast guest on, Matthias DeStefano. He remembers all of his past lives. And I can remember several of mine as well. And what I do remember is the liminal space between, where you have a soul review, and also when you choose the next life. The soul review is interesting because it's basically you looking at what you did, making an evaluation on your own choices, because each reincarnation is basically a chance to do better. It's not as if, you know, higher powers are, you know, kind of sitting there and wagging a finger. It's more you both compassionately and critically looking at your life saying, I missed out on that, or I really did great there. You do not need to go into spirit to have the opportunity to do it. This month, February, is a chance for you to say, does this feel right? Do I need to pivot a little bit? Am I on my own sort of journey to success? Not so much what parents, teacher, or society has expected. You've got what it takes, folks. It's already there. You get to decide what success means to you. So take a moment this month and redefine it if you need to. As we take a look here at the recent past, we have the Three of Swords. Some of you may still be healing or recovering from something. It could be a physical pain, it could be emotional, a breakup, or a disappointment. Whatever it is in the past position. I don't see it as presenting a future or even present issue. But the thing that you do need to deal with in the present is giving yourself time to grieve or to heal or to rebuild. And it's really interesting because your crowning card is a recovery one. So the Seven of Pentacles shows slow and steady growth. But in order to appreciate that and achieve that, there also has to be a little bit of healing there. Now, Seven of Pentacles is reminding you to really make sure that you're not overextending yourself financially, energetically, emotionally, especially because of that Three of Swords that preceded it. So slow and steady, absolutely, this is going to win the race, but also what's important for you is to speak up, to create boundaries, to say no when necessary. Because right before this would be the Six of Pentacles, which is basically the scales of balance and discernment. And so we're pulling that lesson forward this month as well. I do see growth and recovery. You may have been uprooted. Some of you might have just moved, or again, something really big happened and you've had to make a change and deal with this sort of new adjustment in your life. Let yourself kind of be for a moment, allow the roots to start to settle, and you'll start to thrive in the coming weeks and months as well. There's no rush. Progress takes time. The Devil card is like these three cards are dancing together. Thankfully, you have two strong cards in the center, but the Devil is kind of pulling you back into that energy of this or tempting you to overextend. So you just have to see that and say no when it comes through. The Devil can also be someone in your life that just can't give you what you're looking for. In a relationship or friendship, someone just doesn't come through or isn't ready to meet you on the level. You deserve better. In a contract, this is something that just doesn't feel right to you. And if that happens, absolutely listen to your gut. And it's so interesting because in the health area, we have a card that would fight that, basically. Justice comes through to help you find the right balance. So if something isn't good enough, please advocate for more, because you definitely have what it takes to succeed. I can even see it in wealth here as well. Things are moving in the right direction. This is very much connected to a past pain and then maybe this temptation to overextend. So just don't do that. There may also be something in your life like an addiction or even like a thought process that isn't serving your interest anymore. And so this is a great month to either release it on your own or get some help, because if we go back into the catalyst, again, I'm reading this bonding as a bonding moment or a chance to connect with someone. And we had so many beautiful cards of partnership here in the expanded forecast that even if you don't see it now, I see it coming. And sometimes it's just a matter of reaching out and saying, I need some help, or accepting help. This is very much a month when I'm walking the walk and talking the talk. So I'm staying with someone who offered me a place to stay for a little bit. And I'm doing the same as I go eastward. And it's actually quite nice to just spend time with people that care, right? I'm someone who likes to just do everything on their own sometimes. But we all reach a point where it's okay. It's okay to accept help or to ask for help. So don't be afraid to do that. It could give you just what you need to rebuild and repair, okay? Because rebuilding is a big part of this month. I love this for you. We have strength coming through, showing how you're basically shining and showing up this month. You've got what it takes. We have success in the deep past. We have strength as your card. This is a matter of, there's a couple of things with this card. One is just taking care of yourself. So if there's something in your life and it's diminishing or depleting your health, you have to push yourself and create some distance from that. This is also a reminder that you shouldn't have to force things. This is a very elevated and modern interpretation of strength. Typically, we would see someone putting their hands in the mouth of the lion and getting their way, but it takes great effort. In this one, we see meeting in the middle. In relationships and in life in general, you shouldn't have to work that hard to get something to happen. In fact, I actually think that's the lesson here as well. So we have there's like the devil's touching all of this, so I can help you with this. Don't overextend yourself. Make sure that you walk the walk and talk the talk here. And you know what? Don't push things. Don't force things. Meet in the middle. Because if you have to do that much work, it's not worth it. It's someone who isn't ready to meet you where you are, okay? It's a great month to focus on health and well-being, physical health, mental health. Again, letting go of any sort of addictions or even people in your life that constitute that devil energy where they come in and they wreak a little bit of havoc. You don't need that anymore. This is a time for you to focus on health and well-being. All right, in the environment, we have one of the other blocks that might be coming through here, which is heightened sensitivity, maybe a little bit of aggravation is really what I'm reading this as, or maybe some pain or discomfort. So the first thing that you have to do is release and focus on letting go of something, making room for something better. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say goodbye. It's okay to step away. Space then is available to be occupied by an upgrade. This is your chance to upgrade this month. And once you do that, then you're no longer beholden to the emotion. You can focus on saying, wow, this feels right. This feels good. If it doesn't feel good, don't force it. If it's not good enough for you, say no. And if you're tempted to overextend, don't do it, okay? All of these cards are perfectly married together here. And it's all leading you to this. Ace of Pentacles. This is your window or door of opportunity. The card is reversed. So I actually feel, and we keep seeing all of the roots on the Pentacles cards. Some of you might be transferring for a job, moving for love or health or an opportunity. Changing things up. When you transplant yourself or move things around, it takes time to get your bearings. So the Seven of Pentacles, representing where your head's at, is saying, don't expect it all to be perfect on day one. It's going to take a few weeks, days, or months to kind of get your bearings. But when you do, wow, there's a lot of room for growth. A reversed Ace of Pentacles can illustrate or point out something that is lacking. And it can be a little stressful to be the one that speaks up because we have the Nine of Swords here, but we have to counter that energy that's present with the devil. So you're finding your voice, you're saying, hey, you forgot about this, or I need more in order for this to happen. And sometimes even just asking and saying, could I do this? Or can I get some more with this? That's when more abundance starts to come through. The universe is kind of waiting for you to speak up and to advocate for it, okay? The final, in this spread this month, the outcome is the Nine of Swords, and I feel like this has been coming through so much recently. So stress management, sleep, quality and quantity, and being able to not work yourself into worst case scenario. Because sometimes we make it out to be so much bigger or so much more difficult than it has to be. Whatever, a conversation, or necessary decision, you're already there. It's just a matter of taking the step. And we're kind of going back to the page here. Just put it into motion. You're going to be all right. I like that we do have in the opportunity area here an ace. I love that we see recovery. I love that you're coming through as strong. There are some challenges, yes, but you're set up for success, and you can think your way through anything. The King of Wands is one of the strongest and smartest cards. Let's not forget the wisdom that we saw here with knowledge, laughter, and bonding to bring it all together. This is a perfect place now to expand the forecast. We're going to go a little bit deeper into health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll start off with health, which is your mind, your body, and your spirit. And as we take a look at your health card here, I love it. It's perfect for health. It makes a lot of sense. Justice is about achieving balance in your life and doing what's right. So if somebody is coming through with the energy of the devil, basically not following up on what they say they're going to do or distracting you, you're going to come in and put the scales and say, this isn't what we talked about. I deserve this, or I need this. You're going to speak up and advocate per the Strength card. So justice can also be just achieving better balance in your life. More balance with work, with what you're eating, with how much you're exercising, with the people that you're spending your time with the most frequently, like just figuring out how can I make this better? And that's the main focus here. And yes, if something's wrong, fight for what's right, okay? Let's now take a look at just the general spread. Let me get them organized again and see what's coming through. All right, so we talked about a lot of these, but I can kind of give you some nuances with the whole energy of health. The devil can be simply too much coffee, too much caffeine, another type of addiction, alcohol, food, work. There's so many different things that we can get addicted to. So we want to say no, pull back, ask for help if you need to on that. Seven of Pentacles can be recovery in the body or the emotions as well. And you just have to give it time. You can't rush. This is a time to be gentle. We're going to read the Three of Swords in a different way here, which can be cardiovascular health. And it's about making sure that you are getting enough exercise, that you're eating appropriately for like cholesterol or other issues, blood sugar, etc. And yes, healing the heart. We see some pain, some anger that needs to be exercised. Don't keep it in because it finds another way to get out. Taking your problems to sleep with you, because sometimes when we work really, really hard and we don't exercise and meditate and give ourselves enough space, the minute your head hits the pillows, you can't go to sleep. You're starting to go through the laundry list of things that you have to do tomorrow. So finding places in your schedule, not just to have fun, because that was part of this, that will help, the laughter will help, but also for exercise, for meditation, for rest. Also to make sure that you're not missing in the equation when it comes to preventative care, like, going to get your annual physical or dental cleaning, etc. I also just see pressure to succeed. I see a lot here and a lot here. So do your best. That's all you can do. And at the end of the day, let it go. Tomorrow's a fresh start, a clean slate, and you can't beat yourself up. Okay. Other than that, I think we've got everything covered here. So let's move on. We have a beautiful Ten of Pentacles coming through in the energy of wealth, which is your resources, life, purpose, and career. People often say, where's the 10th pentacle? Look, there's a star within a star in the center here. That also shows that there could be a hidden opportunity in front of you. You may want it to be like right here, right now, but there's something that requires just a little bit of perspective and taking care of yourself and having the fun, like we talked about earlier, can help you get that perspective. Let's go ahead and get a little bit more granular with this category, and we'll break it down into 5 groups here. So let me gingerly shuffle this tiny deck that I'm traveling with, and let's then take a look here. So we're going to take a look at those who have a job, then entrepreneurs, job seekers, students, and finally retirees. Okay, we're going to start off first with those who are already employed. And I mentioned the importance of the Six of Pentacles. It came through. There's a lot of hands that are reaching. We can even see it here in the Six of Wands. Look at all the hands reaching for your time, your energy. And for many of you, it's because you are on the heels of success. Be discerning. Be discerning and don't overcommit. The cool thing with the Six of Pentacles is it shows that you have enough to get what you need in any aspect of life. But in particular, as we're looking at those that are working, you can get what you need to get done. However, there may be a moment where you need to communicate what's realistic to a boss or a client or somebody that is expecting the world, everything. You can say, I think this is the most important piece. This is what we have budget for. This is what I can do. If you need more, then I need this, this, or this. That's why Ace of Pentacles reverse came through this month. You have to be the voice of reason, okay? And the same thing here, bringing in a healthy perspective when we were looking at health. You just have to kind of reach out. The thing that I like about it, if we pair it up with the wealth card, is there are resources to be had. So it may just be a matter of asking or pushing back, and lo and behold, they're going to find what's necessary. If we're just looking at you and your job, there are a couple of nuances before I move into the other things. First of all, some of you may be unhappy. If you're unhappy, this could be the tipping point where you're like, especially since we had the health balance energy coming through, and we have another scales card here. If it doesn't balance out, if you're working too hard and not getting a return, or if you're constantly promised the sun and the moon, but it doesn't ever come through, get it in writing. All pages represent, the ability to communicate. But I want Page of Swords energy, not Page of Wands. Page of Wands could just be conversation and a handshake. We want to see it in writing. You can get more this month if you ask. What I'm getting is like possibly like a stingy company, or maybe there's a poor financial quarter and they're just holding back a little bit. That being said, I feel like there's areas where they could manage better or they could be more efficient. And it feels like there's some micromanaging going on. So I feel like it's a wake-up call for many of you with the stress and the fatigue and the emotional sort of energy that's really heavy this month. There comes a point when enough is enough. Can you get through this? Yes, because we have leadership and we have opportunity here. And we have a really positive card here, but it's a lot to manage. So ask yourself, is this enough? Remember, success isn't just a job title or how many zeros are on your bank account. It's also, am I happy? Am I making a difference? And so this is a little bit more existential this month. I'm not worried about Six of Pentacles. I am annoyed at the devil here, though. This is something that just say no if it's not right. I will say this, because we had a legal card that came through anywhere in the spread, don't let someone talk you into something that doesn't feel right. A lot to unpack for those that are working. If you are an entrepreneur, it feels a little lighter and easier here. We have the Eight of Cups. There could be a business trip on the horizon. You could be exploring new places to work, to live, or new ways to expand your product or ideas. There could also be a second chance rolling around. I always look at the Eight of Cups as a chance to do something again or do something better. I want you also to take some time, if you haven't, to get some clarity in your mental sort of space here. So like a week off or a sabbatical or a change of scenery, something to reset, because then I feel like all this sort of energy of potential will start to come through and you'll be able to bring in some new resources and some new ideas, okay? Job seekers, we have some good news. The Knight of Cups can be literally someone bringing forth a great opportunity, something that you like. Your creativity is your biggest asset this month. It doesn't matter if you're an artist, it's your creative approach. As I mentioned, this is very much a card of invention, imagination, leadership, etc. So show people what you have to bring and to give, and be enthusiastic. I will say this too, if you're on an interview or having a conversation with someone, you don't want to play it too cool. You do want to show a certain level of gratitude and positivity and interest. It will serve you well. If there's something that you want, go for it, okay? When and where can you get it? Well, I would look into your existing network, because this is, like I said, Ten of Pentacles is the family that you know, the people that you've connected to. Could be a hidden opportunity that's not advertised, so definitely check there first. There are a couple of warnings. When you go to an interview, don't talk about or complain about the previous job. It doesn't always bode well. There could be things that are hidden in the contract, so definitely get a lawyer. It could take a couple of times going back and forth to get the final contract. It should serve both of you, not just the one party. And so that's what we see here. There's a merging of energies where both sides find a happy medium. And that's the one warning. The other thing is ask about expectations for overtime and just overall stress. Talk to some people that have worked there before if you're looking at a job opportunity, and make sure that you've got the full picture. Okay? Let's move on to students, just off camera here. Students, we have, there's a lot to soak up and a lot to sort of digest. The Page of Wands in reverse is almost like, I'm just getting a little bit of mental burnout. So getting ample rest, not pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion, very, very key. The other thing here, as we're looking at the cards, there could just be a disagreement. You're looking or listening to someone and thinking, that's not right. I don't agree with that, or that's not how it works in the real world. Pick and choose your battles, because sometimes there are just arbitrary ways of doing things in school, and you have to decide if it's worth that fight. Overall, I feel like you're headed in the right direction. Don't overextend yourself this month. And if you don't want to do a certain sort of tract in school, like choose the major you want, not what your mom wants, not what is expected of you. I know it's not always easy if someone else is paying the bills, but this is your life. This is your path. And the devil is coming through and saying, are you sure this is what you want? If it isn't, you can push back. You can say no. All right, let's move on. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's pretty much it. Just heightened sensitivity and something to avoid here when it comes to a habit or a decision or a path that doesn't feel right. You can manage this, but it is just speaking up. Swords is missing from this, except here. But like I want a communicative sword card like the Knight or the Page or King or Queen. So it's important to speak up and speak out. Finally, retirees. You got a lot going on here, but it's a matter of focusing. Discernment is a common theme this month. Really deciding, just like we were talking about with students, do it because you want to do it. that's one of the benefits of age. And I don't want to always kind of conflate age and retirement, but usually it's 50 plus, right? 50, 60, 70. So at that point, you get a chance to say, I've lived a few years. This is what I want. So definitely pick and choose. Focus on what brings you joy and what kind of ignites your passion. The magician is capable of doing anything as long as they focus, as long as there's passion. And the last thing is, you got to have some belief too. This is a great card for spiritual development or just starting something new. Put your focus in one thing and allow it to blossom and grow. All right, let's take a look at love and see what wants to come through here. So in the area of love, we have everybody's favorite card, the Five of Swords. Elevating communication is going to be really important. I'll see if I can find the traditional card while we're speaking, but Five of Swords is an annoying card because the person whom you need to speak with is typically not ready. Here we go. They're either closed off or thinking of the next thing, or they're just trying to get a rise out of you. And so in this moment in time, don't take the bait. That's what I'm getting here. And this can also be the inner saboteur, where sometimes we're worried so much about what people think that, it's like that little voice in your head saying, you can't do this, you're not this enough, you're not that enough. Push back, you can do this, you are okay, you are enough. And in this one, when I'm looking at the worms here too, it's showing me that there's stuff beneath the surface. You may see someone in a different light. I really want you to trust what your insight is bringing forth, even if it's inconvenient. It's going to help you down the line. All right, let's go a little bit more granular in this as well. We're going to break this down into 3 subcategories. Let me just give the cards a shuffle and we'll see what's coming through. All right, for those of you currently in love, those that are seeking love, and those that are happily single. Okay. If you're currently in a relationship, the biggest challenge is acknowledgement, feeling seen and heard. So if it's your partner, it's as simple as saying, thank you. Thank you for doing that. That made my day. I see you. I appreciate you. If your partner isn't paying attention to you, again, we're kind of going back into this card, which is you shouldn't have to force a compliment or someone to listen or hear you out. But you could say, do you understand? Are you listening? What's going on with you? That's actually a great way to figure out if they're ignoring you or if they're distracted. So I would use questioning, like curiosity, to sort of see what's going on. Say, I'm frustrated, but I really want to know what's going on with you because it's not like you. Or just say, why aren't you listening? Leave it as an open-ended question rather than an accusatory one. You're not listening. Why aren't you listening? Maybe they're bored, maybe they're nervous, maybe they're distracted. So ask the question. And ultimately, it just may feel like there's not enough time together. The two of you I don't see the connection happening. So make some time. There could be some surprises too. The Two of Swords can simply be surprises. Now, I want to highlight a couple of other things. If there's something that needs to be said, bring it up. Don't wait. It will find the light of day anyway with the devil. So no secrets. There could also be someone coming through creating a wedge here. Three of Cups and devil energy can sometimes be family member or someone else trying to get in the middle here. Now, if you or your partner has done something and it's a big sort of error or mistake, there needs to be a decision. Is this right? Is this what I want to do? Can we get through this? Have a conversation when when the air is cleared, when both of you are in a better space. If everything's okay, and many of you are in an okay space, there could simply be some work stress. There could be something in the health that's going on out of your control. And it's just a matter of stress management and just saying, how can I be there for you? So there's a few different ways you can look at that. I do see someone here who shows up, leads, tries to show how they feel, but someone that needs a little more validation. So again, I think just a little bit more communication can help and can heal quite a bit. Moving on to those that are looking for love. Well, the good news is, yes, you can find it. We have Queen of Cups energy coming through. So a water sign could be present. You could just be attracting someone who's really sensitive, creative, and kind. I like that. So maybe Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces presenting itself as a partner for you. And like attracts like. So many of you have already done the work and are ready to receive. What I will say here is there's a couple of things. If you're on a rebound, give yourself a minute before rushing into that. If you aren't ready for commitment, be honest with yourself and with the other person. Give yourself a chance to get to know this person. There may be something they're afraid to share. I also see Leo energy coming forth, and we have fire at the center. So you have more than enough options. The key is discernment, okay? Finally, if you are single and happy, we have the Seven of Cups. It is reversed, so this is about figuring out, what do I want? We keep going into bigger existential questions this month, and that's okay. But some of you are getting close to making a decision. You may need an outside perspective to clear some of these cups away so you're not distracted. My advice here is limit how many choices are in front of you. Create a list, take the ones that are at either edge off and kind of focus on the middle ground and say, that's the one. Trust your instincts on this if you need to. You might be having some hard time concentrating. If this is going on, I get caffeine in my head, but it could be anything. This devil energy is, again, something you think might be helping you, but it's not. That's why caffeine kind of popped in first and foremost. And you may think that you can operate with not a lot of sleep, but the Nine of Swords begs to differ. So those things could be also affecting mental cognition. Let's move on now to your destiny card. We have partnership, the bonding energy that we talked about earlier here with the Two of Cups. So Two of Cups doesn't have to just be love. It can be a new friend. It can be an alliance in business. It can just be feeling like you're a part of something bigger, connecting with family. This is a great month to make connections and make connections happen. So make some room in your life, have some fun, and focus on those Two of Cups moments that I just talked about. All right, now is your chance for one final question. It can be anything that I haven't yet answered. Go ahead and formulate that question. I'm going to give the cards a shuffle, and let's see what Spirit has to say. It's a yes. Oh, sorry, it's off camera. It's Temperance. So we got Temperance coming through. It's an angelic card of leadership, but one step at a time. Typically, the Temperance angel has 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot in the water, and slow and steady. We're talking about that again. It wins the race. There's also, this connects for me to April, to springtime, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. So it's just around the corner. A month or two away, something really amazing is going to happen. As a yes, it's a yes, but or yes or no, I should say it's a yes, but take your time. Don't rush. And the rushing piece kind of gets us back to this. Nothing good comes out of rushing to the finish line, okay? This also is great for intuitive development and just tuning in general. And that, my friends, is everything for this month. Let's bring Apollo up for just a second, and then we'll wrap up. Hey, buddy. Let's say hi to everyone. I know many of you are like, how's he doing? How's he doing with the weather? He's just fine. After a week or so, he adjusted pretty well. So there we go. I'll hold him up while we're talking. If you enjoyed this, please remember to subscribe. It's 100% free and it helps the channel grow. You can also give me a follow on social media. It's always my full name on all the major platforms. You can go to my website if you need more information. Remember, I don't offer private readings, so if anybody does offer that or uses chat or DM, you know it's not me. I'm going to put Apollo down and finish up. And finally, if you haven't taken a moment to listen to the podcast from this month, I would highly encourage that. I interviewed Matthias DeStefano. It's linked on the main channel page. I think you'll enjoy it. By the way, if you also want to give back in super stickers, super chat, or membership, you're more than welcome to do that. That, my friends, is everything. Thank you so much for your love, your support, and being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. Wishing you all the best. I'll see you soon.